Hello everyone. In the last session, we have seen ZigBee protocol. Today, in this session, we are going to look at 4G and 5G technologies. So let's start with 4G. So 4G stands for fourth generation. Okay. So both of these things, fourth generation and fifth generation, they belong to cellular communication or mobile communication. And if you take 4G, the download speed is at 1 gigabit per second. That is when stationary, that is when the device is not moving, and when the device is moving, the download speed is 100 megabits per second. Okay, so here 1 giga means it is equal to 1000 mega. Okay, right. And who is looking over this fourth generation and fifth generation technologies is ITU, okay, International Telecommunications Union. And they have given two formats for fourth generation technologies. One is long term evolution advanced, and another one is WiMAX release 2. Okay, so let's look at each generation of cellular communication. So in first generation, the calls were analog signals. Okay, and in second generation, they introduced digital communication, and they also introduced text messaging, that is SMS. And in third generation, we have digital calls, the voice calls, text messaging, as well as mobile internet, mobile broadband. And in 2010, that is when the 4G came into picture, we have voice calls, text messaging, we have mobile internet with improved download and upload speed. Okay, and this year they introduced fifth generation technology. So we have all the things which are there in 4G. Along with that, another advantage is wireless for industry. Okay, for machine communication, machine to machine communication, as well as IoT. And we have enhanced speeds, download speed and upload speed. So this is a overview of five generations of cellular communication. So coming again back to fourth generation, it offers all features which are there in third generation. Along with that, the other features are on-demand video, video conferencing facility, high quality streaming video, high quality voice over IP, and added security features. Now let's talk about LTE and WiMAX. First, let's look at LTE. It means long-term evolution. And this technology was adopted by the companies Verizon, AT&T, and Metro PCS. Okay, and LTE operates on radio frequency and the cellular network for transmitting voice and data. And LTE uses pre-coded version of OFDM, orthogonal frequency division multiplex, for uplink, and normal OFDM for downlink. Okay, uplink means transmission and downlink means reception. And LTE is also backward compatible. That means it can be easily, and it is easily upgraded to LTE advanced version. And the LTE specification indicates that the downstream rate is at least, I mean the speed is, data rate is 100 Mbps, and upstream rate is 50 Mbps, megabits per second. So that's about LTE. Next we are going to look at WiMAX. So WiMAX stands for Worldwide Interoperability for Microwave Access. Okay, and it is defined by IEEE with the standard number 802.16, and the speeds are up to 4 Mbps. Okay, and range of up to 30 miles. Okay, so this WiMAX can be used for establishing metropolitan area networks, that is network between cities. Okay, and so this WiMAX operates in a licensed spectrum, that means where the frequencies are exclusively allocated to the carriers, that means the frequencies are reserved. So because of that, the carriers will be able to emit more power without any worry of interference. Okay, as the channel is already reserved, so there is no need to worry about interference from others. Okay, right. And another technology, fourth generation technology, is HSPA evolved. So you can see here that plus means evolved high speed packet access. So HSPA means high speed packet access, and it is adopted by the organization T-Mobile and as well as AT&T. And this technology will be implemented in two phases. So first phase will use 64 QAM quadrature amplitude modulation, and the second phase will use the 64 QAM along with that advanced antenna techniques. Okay, such as this 2 by 2 MIMO. And it is assumed that first phase offers a speed of 21 megabits per second, and when the second phase comes it offers speed up to 42 Mbps. So here this B is bytes, megabytes per second. Okay, and so this 4G is capable of providing more applications than the uh, old generation technologies like 3G, and uh, those applications can be wireless broadband internet access, multimedia messaging service (MMS), video chat, mobile television, high definition TV, digital video broadcasting, real time audio, and high speed data transfer. Okay, and many devices are using this 4G technology. Some of the devices are mobile phones, laptops and PCs, tablets, video cameras, gaming devices, vending machines, refrigerators, and billing devices. Okay, so finally, difference between 3G technologies and 4G technologies. So you can see the frequency bands and the bandwidth, and we can see a significant difference in the data rate. Here it is only 2 Mbps, whereas in 4G the data rate is 20 Mbps or more. Okay, and access technology, here it uses wideband CDMA in 3G, but 4G uses multi-carrier CDMA or OFDM. And switching type of switching is here in the 3G it is either circuit switching or packet switching, but in 4G it is packet switching. Next we are moving on to 5G. Okay, next generation, latest generation in cellular communications, fifth generation. So 5G stands for fifth generation mobile network, and so it is coming after all these things. Okay, so it's the latest one, and see here, so it's a new kind of network technology which is designed to connect virtually everyone and everything together, including machines, objects, and devices. So, what is this thing? Connecting everything. It is nothing but IoT, Internet of Things. Okay. So the 5G, which is starting in this year, it has to come into existence in many places. It is still being launched. It didn't come into usage. It will come in near future, and it is meant to deliver higher multi Gbps peak data speeds. That means greater speeds than the 4G, and it is supposed to offer ultra low latency, almost zero. Okay, and it is supposed to offer more reliability than 4G, and it will have massive network capacity, and there will be increased availability. That means the downtime will be very less, and it offers more uniform user experience for the users. Like 4G, 5G is also based on OFDM, that is orthogonal frequency division multiplexing. It's a method of modulating a digital signal across different channels for reducing interference. Okay, and 5G also uses wider bandwidth technologies such as sub 6 GHz and wave. Okay, and next, so it offers faster speeds. Okay, and also better mobile broadband services when compared to 4G long-term evolution. Okay, and it can also expand into new service areas such as M2M communications or mission critical communications, and for connecting the massive IoT. Okay, right. So 5G is always better than 4G. So how it is better? It is faster, it offers more capacity, it offers lower latency, almost zero, and it provides a unified platform that is more capable than 4G, and also 5G uses spectrum more better than 4G. Okay, right. So the types of applications that can be supported by 5G can be divided into three main categories. So those categories are enhanced mobile broadband applications, mission critical communications, and the final one is massive IoT. Okay, and at the peak, the data rates, the speed of offered by 5G is up to 20 Gbps. This is very high data rate. Okay, gigabits per second, right? Okay, so here you can see a graph. So you can see this red one represents 2G. It came into existence from the year 2000, so it's implemented, and now its usage is declining. Okay, now the black thing is 3G. So it started in around late 2000, and it is implemented, and still it is being used by many people. And then we have 4G, which started in around 2009, and still it has to be implemented in some of the countries, and many people are using this. And this 5G, it is started in 2020, and still it has to come into existence in many places. Okay, so in the coming years it will have gradual increase. Okay, right. And then finally, features of 5G technologies. So it offers very low latency, almost zero, It offers greater speeds around 10 Gbps, and at peak it offers 20 Gbps. It supports wide range of applications, machine to machine communication, massive IoT and all these things. And it provides ubiquitous connectivity, so you can access anything everywhere until you have this technology accessible in your device. So wherever you go, you can access everything. And it provides more software options for upgrading, and it provides very high capacity and faster response time. Because of less latency, we will have faster response time, and it supports more number of devices in the network. Okay, so that's it about 5G technology. Okay, so let's quickly recap what we have seen today. So we started here. We started with the 4G, fourth generation technologies, and we have seen some points about all the generations of cellular communications, and then we have seen the features of fourth generation, and then we have seen the fourth generation technologies like long-term evolution, WiMAX, HSPA plus. Okay, and then we have seen some applications of 4G, and we have seen some devices which use 4G technology, and then we have seen the differences between 3G and 4G. Okay, and then we moved on to fifth generation. Okay, we have seen the what it can provide over 4G, and then we have seen the different reasons why 5G is better than 4G. Okay, three main types of applications, and then we have seen this graph, and then finally features of fifth generation technology. Okay, so that's it for this session. In the next session we are going to look at Li-Fi technology. Okay, thank you.